What is your job and how much do you get paid? Master of the Custodial Arts. $17. 50/H. Some men just want to watch the world sparkle. Officer on a container ship, work about 6 months out of the year and make about 120k. For the most part my job is looking out a window at some waves. Do you enjoy what you do? If I could go back I think this is what I'd want. But I would imagine work-life balance is awful having a family if applicable. Teacher in Zimbabwe, $150 per month. Edit. Thank you guys so much for the messages and awards. Feels great to be appreciated. $150 is not enough in Zimbabwe. We're just living by day like birds. Political and economic situation is very bad. Edit. Let me give you guys a rough breakdown of my monthly expenses. Water bill $20. Electricity bill $20. Rent $30 per room. Groceries food $60. Funeral policy $6 per person. Medical aid, can't afford. Kids school fees $120 every 3 months. Data $20 for 8 GB. Transport $15. Car insurance $40 every 4 months. So most of the times 1 or 2 things are lagging behind. It's a hard life. Interesting, very different to most people here. How do you find it? I do whatever needs to be done around the warehouse that doesn't require a forklift. $19 an hour. Any reason you don't have a forklift license? If there is no medical reason. Seems like a good way to boost your pay rate once experienced. I work at a recycling plant. I get $35 an hour to stand at a conveyor belt picking out glass. Edit. Should have stated when I wrote the comment that I'll live in Australia. So that would be $25 roughly. While I have people's attention, I would like to use this platform to ask people to please be mindful of what goes into your recycling bins. Diapers, food and plastic wrappers do not belong in the recycling bin. I am a paraprofessional in an elementary school. I spend most of my time in a self-contained kindergarten 5th grade classroom of mostly non-verbal students with autism. Occasionally I float to other classrooms. I make around 20k a year. I love my job. But the pay is insulting. You can mow lawns and make more than that : I'm here scouting for jobs with good pay. Me too. Not having super reassurance. Ups package sorter at a warehouse. $22 an hour plus time and a half pay for anything over 5-hour shift in a single day. So for example, one shift is 5 hours. If I work 2 shifts in a row, the second one would be $33 an hour. Unlimited overtime too, so if I really wanted to I could triple shift every day for an entire week. That would be like 15 hours straight every day working though and get a month's worth of money in a single check. I'm quite small, 120 lbs 5 feet 1 female, but I was looking into this job. Do you think it's something I'd be able to do? I know that's very subjective, but I guess what I mean is, what's the heaviest you typically have to lift? Move? Edit. This is my first highly upvoted responded to comment, so I appreciate that lol. More importantly, thank you to everyone who responded so thoughtfully. All of your insight was fantastic and I think I'm going to go for it. I work in a steel mill that heats steel bars to a certain hardness. I get paid $18 an hour and so far we haven't had anyone die for a year. That's a record. Work for a family of iron foundries. We had our first death in my 11 years here 2 years ago and it was awful. The death itself was not particularly gruesome. But the crap around it was. It was not our employee, it was a temp. He was doing something he shouldn't and was pinned by a casting and had a heart attack before he could be released. We notified the temp agency, who refused to either contact his family or allow us to do the same. We didn't have that information made available to us. They didn't find out until the next day. They are of course our ex-temp agency. The family was rightly super pissed. EMT 15 per hour. Edit. You guys need to realize. I'm on the high end. 15 per hour is starting wage here and that's freaking nuts. I seriously met a guy who worked 20 plus years as an advanced EMT over in Tennessee and he was legit making $10.50 an hour. The dude was 48 on, 24 off. Actually, you'll think I'm doing rough? Check out Wildland Firefighters, haha. I work at a small tech company doing any random thing they want. I make $90k. Any technical expertise? I like how Reddit is the place where $100k year and $4 hour people meet. I think. Outside the Chinese restaurant. This is the only place these two groups meet. It's always nice to see the higher paid users appreciate the work of and offer advice to the lower paid users in the same fields. Especially when that advice is you're underpaid. Do this to fix it. Solidarity among colleagues. CDL truck driver doing roll-off dumpsters for $20 HR. I'm a roll-off driver too in NYC. But I'm a Teamster member and our contract is $38 an hour and going up to $40 in January. With OT, we get around $130,000 a year plus medical and pension contributions 100% paid by employer. It's a lot harder in NYC. But $20 is low in my opinion. We do a lot of crazy switches where cars are literally parked against the containers and we have to get them out and put the fresh ones in. Speed in the maneuvers is where it's at for us. I never do a 6-way switch if I don't have to chain the full box up and pull it out so I can drop the new one in. Usually those switches take me 4 to 5 minutes total. 6 ways are annoying as hell on the busy Manhattan streets. 13-year-old here. I take out the trash and take out of the dishwasher at home and get paid $78 a month or $936 a year by my mum. Private jet captain. Varies with overtime. But this year will be around $360,000. Well damn. Hell yeah. Medical coder. Make $31 HR. About $65k annually. Is that the same as medical coding and billing? With the ICD-10 codes and all that? Electrical substation design engineer. $126,000/year. Air traffic controller. Around $100,000. Edit. I am getting a ton of questions. Might have to do an AMA. Edit number 2. AMAs live on our AMA. I've heard that's a super stressful job. Any truth to that? Paraprofessional at an elementary school in a classroom with students who have autism. I get paid $19.70 an hour plus a $70 monthly stipend for helping the kids with toilet duties. As the father of an autistic son, you should be getting paid way fucking more for this. Thank you for helping children like mine. Restaurant manager for a well-known restaurant. $75,000 base salary and $25,000 in annual bonuses. You mean like Hooters? I have no idea what you mean by restaurant if it's not that LMAO. Artificial intelligence computer vision. About $230,000. Edit. To answer some questions without doxing myself. Less than 1 year in industry. PhD in related field from a very well-known school. Background in remote sensing and robotics. Used to do a lot of stuff for NASA. Average maybe 30 hours a week. Sometimes more. Not cars. Geospatial intelligence. Yes. My company is hiring. If you have SWOT or CV experience geospatial data, feel free to send a resume. Can scrub personal info. Don't care. And I can tell you if it's worth pursuing. Same field. Same pay. I wonder if we work for the same company. Entrepreneur. Negative 10k per year. I'm a line cook manager for a busy restaurant. And I get paid $19 an hour plus tip share plus profit share from 2 recipes of mine on the menu. That's so awesome, you get a chunk of $sign for your very own menu recipes. I feel like that should be a standard, especially nowadays with restaurants struggling to not have a revolving door staff. Congrats to you, glad you got a job that sounds high stress but you manage well. And have a respectful boss on top it. NYC roll-off dumpster driver under a Teamster union contract. $40 an hour in January plus medical and pension paid 100% by my employer. There's guaranteed overtime too. So gross around $130,000 plus the other perks. We also get a $100k severance payout the day we retire. I have a bachelor's in business, but fell in love with being outside all day. I also sell scrap metal if I can collect it, and I have a thriving eBay business from other things I find in the dumpsters. Made another 25k doing that on the side. Edit. Here's my eBay statement from PST 90 days. https://IB.co/5BDDJT3. I'm obsessed with dumpster diving. What's the nicest merch you found? College student. Get paid $-20k. Carpenter here. $67 an hour with including my benefits. Edit. Had some people saying I'm lying. I'm union. Here is the proof. https://imgur. RQ9G4QG. Air ambulance pilot. Helicopter. $80,000 a year. Dude, you're being underpaid. Professor. STEM. $85 $105K per year depending on grants I bring in. You wouldn't happen to be the Professor Eggplant Wizard 12 that I have heard so much about? Street magician. It depends. Location and season are the biggest factors. I can make anywhere from $300 $3,000 a week. Is that a full-time job or just a side gig when you need cash? Doing that every day sounds exhausting. Drive yard truck for Walmart. Make $10K a month or $120K a year. I watched a video about trucking where the guy said that Walmart was one of the greatest companies to work for as a trucker. Is that so? Nuclear plant electrician 50 an hour. $130 $150K a year depending on hot bonus. Moving into an operations role in the plant soon. Homer. I'm a lab analyst for a microbiology lab. Doing sample testing and environmental monitoring in a germ-free environment where hospital drugs are made. I make $18 an hour. Not bad. But the stress of the job combined with the fact that it's on the low end of the wage of these sort of jobs means I'm looking for other options. I think your job should be paid higher. Edit. For the amount of education they require for this kind of job. They should pay higher. I see from the comments below that the wages fluctuate from state to state and from company to company. Freelance video editor. $500 to $600 day. Bad year I make $40 $50K per year. Great year are $95K $110K. Where do you find work if you don't mind sharing? I started video editing for a YouTube channel guy 150K subs or so. Tried to say $50 a video unless it's close to 20 minutes then 100. But part of the ad rev to me. Never saw that after the first two so I just stopped. I love editing and filming and want to do my own stuff but I'd like to edit as a job for now but I'm not sure how to get there. Agency travel nurse $81.50 per hour. $130 HROT. How many hours per year? I just started a new job as a software engineer with $384K total comp. To be honest I don't really know what to do with most of my money besides caring for my aging parents and saving. I feel very lucky and privileged to be here. As someone who has unexpectedly found themselves jumping salary brackets by large margins. My number one piece of advice is to save a huge chunk of your income before you get used to it. As someone who was just happy he makes $15 an hour. Entering this thread was a mistake. Walmart stocker. $15 an hour. About $20,000 a year. Been there. But I made $12 and I can say, I didn't get paid enough for that shit. The job was nice but good god those customers were too much. Inspect nuclear reactors under contract. $100,000 but only work 10 weeks a year. Edit. Here is a short video. https://yahoo. BXMARIB0i4, giving a bit of an overview of what I do. How did you get into this field job? I'm a university student and I have a part-time job as a lifeguard. I get paid $23 an hour which is pretty good. Lifeguard for 8 years. Supervisor for 1 or 2 of those. I had to drive between 10ish pools. Only got 18/hour, 13/h as a guard, and didn't get reimbursed for gas or anything. It was my favorite job but I'm glad I moved on. Edit. Forgot to mention it was 40 minutes to the pool as a guard. And on average 30 between each pool as a supervisor. I'd spend maybe 20 minutes at each pool checking pumps and making sure guards were doing their job. So I did a lot of driving with no gas reimbursement. Custodian $24 HR government union job with benefits and pension. Obligatory. Oh wow this blew up. Thanks guys. Dang. I went to school for teaching. Stay at home with my kids now. But I need to go back to work next year. Problem is that I no longer want to teach. I actually love cleaning though. It's therapeutic to me. Maybe I'll look into this. Chipotle GM. $58K year. Edit. People really don't understand that different states have different pay scales and standards of living. Vet Tech. $15 HR in Utah. Getting a raise later this month though. I do research with brain cells, HIV, cocaine, and fentanyl. $29. 500/year aka $14/HR. Yes, I'm sad that this is what a master's degree got me. You got hosed. You don't need a master's degree due to drugs. Geez, this thread makes me feel like I failed in life. Strip club DJ. Gross around $65,000 doing 3 nights a week. Removed. Row. Good job and also good job. Actuary. About 110k base before bonus. I'm honestly surprised this isn't higher. Litigator. $225,000. Wow, how is your work-life balance? How many years have you been practicing? And what country do you practice in? Nice try, Mr. Collection Agent. I'm an English teacher in charity organization. $6 thumbs up with light skin tone. Ah, here we go. Finally a comment that's lower than mine. Coincidentally also an English teacher. All of you have such great jobs and pay. I'm from a third world country and my pay is $200 a month. I do odds and ends job for extra to push to my income to around $300 to $400 per month. Here. This'll surprise some folks. I'm a librarian, hence the username. And I earn right around $100,000 with full benefits. But I'm in the Bay Area. And that's with a master's degree plus 15 years of experience. So it's not all that impressive in context. Wendy's crew member. $9 normal hours. $10 when I close. If I become an ambassador I could make $12 an hour, but that's a lot of work. I work the grill usually and they say I'm the best at it, not including the managers and one of the ambassadors. Senior Ed Analyst. A little under $100,000. Not bad for a GED recipient. I'm head of HR and finances at a national political party non-us. I make about $60k a year before taxes. Might take up walking dogs as a side gig. After reading this thread. Underwater welder. $296k annually. I'm assuming the pay is so high due to how dangerous it is? Project manager in the wireless telecommunications industry and I make $95,000 a year. I live in the Northern California area. I also am a part-time horse photographer, because I love it, and I make an additional $25k at that. Nightclub director. Las Vegas. $100k base. $100k tip pool. $150k performance bonus. And the other perks. Name checks out. $26.51 per hour at $46 HR after 76 hours fortnightly. What do I do? Milk cows and act as a farmhand doing whatever the owners of the dairy want. What's funny is besides the owner's wife, my partner and I are the only ones here THT have a professional degree and have any business experience. We'll miss the money when my visa runs out and I have to go home. Doing whatever the owners of the dairy want. And X200B. What's funny is besides the owner's wife, I thought this was gonna go in a completely different direction. Really needs to add and where do you live? Or it isn't very useful information. And as I'm here, project staff. Tallinn. €4,000 PM after tax. Deleted. Aircraft cleaner. $17 HR plus free flights. D, it's a pretty fun job, I enjoy it. Is the free flight when they take off while you're still on top with a bucket and sponge? Virtual assistant $4 an hour. I see you get that bank. Data analyst. $65k annually. I was to take numbers from different spreadsheets and combine them into one spreadsheet type of data analyst. $25 HR full-time in a not expensive USA city. After a couple weeks I wrote code to automate 80% of my work. I spend my free time learning React front-end framework. Hopefully my next job will pay much more. I make sliding wardrobe doors. Measure and cut all aluminium and wood paneling and assemble. Some are mirrored. $26 per hour NZD. Software engineer. $133,000 in not factoring in bonus and discounted stock. Design. $100 HR. Websites. Art direction for marketing campaigns. All contract work currently, so it's either a feast or a famine. Edit. I want to preface this is after 12 years experience. I didn't get up to 100 until this year. I also started featuring in-house either with the brand or agency. Since going freelance, my most stable and high-paying clients now are ex-employers. My own personal experience showed that in-house brand creatives were best paid. Then at agency-type roles, they pay you less since they bill the higher rate to their clients to make money. School psychologist for public schools. $125,000 for 180 days. Full benefits and retirement. Never-ending professional development for licensure renewal. Took me 35 years to get this salary. Started at $40,000 in 1986. Public educators are on a graduated pay scale. Oil refinery guy. $150K, union job, $401K and pension, good benefits. Professional theater actress. Current job $568 a week before taxes. The art is your food. It sustains you. Malware analyst. $125,000. Software development manager $185K. Disabled veteran $30K a year. English prof. $45K and I teach 4 different classes each semester. Supervise more students. Do research. And serve on a bunch of committees, do service for the university. This is why I'm glad my wife got out of academia. The pay. Okay if you're able to get tenure track. The workload? Absolutely abysmal. Meet manager salaried $77K plus bonuses. Didn't know porn directors earn salaries. EMT security for a tribal casino. Graveyard shift. $18 HR. I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Like attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion bright as magnesium. Software sales $110K base with around $110K in bonus, but it's a newish job and this software is affected by COVID, so the bonus is not much. Loader in a warehouse. $21.50 per hour. Loads of overtime. Crypto trader. Minus 20%. Toddler-led teacher. Just got a raise from $9.65 minimum wage to $10.50, but not because I'm valued. Because we're so severely understaffed and everyone that walks through walks right back out once they learn how low the wage is. Don't blame them one bit. Dental assistant $30 HR. Finance. Basically Excel for a living. $95K per year, taxes and health insurance already deducted. Not my main job, or a job at all, but I published a little game to the Google Play Store like 4 months ago and made about €3 of ad revenue in total. It only has 12 downloads because I think it's so bad that it wouldn't be worth paying for ads, but I only did it for fun anyways, and maybe someday I will develop a better game that will bring me a little more than €3. Edit. To the people who installed the game because of this. If you go into the Android settings you can remove network access for only the game and then the ads will be gone without any disadvantages. Works for a lot of games BTW. I spent more than I made on music last year, but my songs being streamed did bring me in $4.21 in revenue over the last 12 months. Maybe one day that'll bring me a consistent $10 a year. Hard to compare EU Germany versus US. I find it really hard to compare annual salary between the US and Germany. Where I live, the US figures, even for seemingly low-level jobs, just seem insanely high to me. Over here, between 30K and 60K is absolutely fine, depending on the job. But for the US, I see folks making 90K or 120K as if it's no big deal. What's the deal here? Healthcare, childcare, and education are expensive in the US, and these figures are all before those expenses or taxes are taken out. Also, some folks making big money may be in high cost of living areas like NYC or San Francisco, where average rent on an apartment is $36,000, $48,000 annually, and buying a place is very expensive. Massage therapist esthetician $22 HR at my job, $100 HR working for myself. I read that as massage therapist electrician. Makes so much more sense your way. Manager of a cannabis dispensary $17 HR. Supply chain planner $73K. Get the pitchforks. It's this guy over here. I sell cars. Anywhere from $30K $120K a year depending on commissions. That's quite a big range lol. Like, borderline poverty level to top 10%. Software engineer product owner. About $110K a year. Construction inspector $40 HR. Project director, $80,000 plus. I work at a restaurant and get $12 hour plus tips. I quit my soul-sucking sales job and drive for DoorDash. I'm bringing home $900 a week and taking one full day off a week. I love it. I wear comfy clothes, listen to music, podcast, audiobooks, and never have to deal with much stress anymore. I love it. Licensed nursing assistant for a home care agency, $13.50 per hour. It's embarrassingly underpaid. But the girl I take care of is so incredibly sweet. 18F with cerebral palsy, nonverbal. Being able to help her and her family out means more to me than my actual paycheck. Union journeyman plumber pipe fitter, $46.33 an hour. Carpenter, $117. 0 Australian dollars. Banker, $58,000 plus bonuses. Front-end web developer. Between my job and side business coding small business websites, I do about $120,000 a year. Hoping to double that by next year. Project manager on contract. I get paid $50 an hour. No subsidized benefits. Number 401k matching. No PTO. No bonus. No paid holidays. But that's why the pay is pretty solid and I do get to work from home. It probably comes out to closer to $80,000 a year if I subtract the benefits that I got at my old job by comparison and having to pay fully out of pocket for insurance. Still not bad and a decent bit more than I made at my last job. Another cool thing is that if everyone else is taking off around holidays, I can work basically just being available at that point and get that pay boost versus what I would have used a PTO day on before. Paper girl and I get paid £19.20 a week, but then I have to give £5.96 to the kid I hired to do it when I'm at college. Senior hardware engineer for a tech company. Everything said and done, I'll make about $270k this year including benefits. Substitute teacher. $40.57 an hour. Graduate student PhD electrical engineering, $24k a year. Grinning face with smiling eyes and sweat drop. Pharmacist at a government hospital making about $130,000 in, with great benefits like a pension. Taco Bell customer service champion. $18.25 an hour. Bro, I will give you a $20 per meal raise if you bring back the chili cheese burrito. Fix iPhone 16/hour at East Coast. Edit. I fix iPhones and other Apple devices and I get paid $16 hour plus some commissions. Embedded software engineer. 110 kW/7 years experience. At least until the end of the year. I quit. It hurts reading these wages. In my country the minimum hourly wage is like 3-4 euros. The minimum monthly wage is 500 euros. Which makes it a beautiful 6,000 euros per year. Of course, the average wages are higher. But most young people have to work minimum wage jobs. I know that McDonald's pays their employees €3 hour before tax. I work as a food delivery driver and can sometimes make over €10 per hour. Which in my opinion is much better than most other jobs that you don't need any qualification for here. No wonder everybody seems to be leaving the country. A decent good wage here by most would be considered around 1,000 to 2,000 per month. And yes, we are in Europe. In the EU. The country I'm referring to is Latvia. Currently a lab tech at a shitty lab working a rotating schedule for 20 per hour. About to start an engineering tech at a custom polymers company for 50k. With degrees in chemical engineering and chemistry I still feel very underpaid. But it's a lot better than the 15 per hour I was at a year ago. Deleted. Paramedic in the UK. £17. 50-ish HR after shift overruns and unsocial hours pay I make in the neighborhood of £43. 000 per annum. Student. Dishwasher. $17 Welder $25 hourly. Hopefully I can up that wage when I start working union soon. Construction manager $120,000 a year plus bonuses and stock options. Total compensation package is pushing $200,000 a year, but a lot of that is in retirement savings. Edited to note it's $120,000 per year, not $120 an hour, which would be awesome. Sustainability consultant. $40k. It's an entry-level position I got right after graduating. I mostly do life cycle assessment and environmental impact assessment. Very fulfilling job but also pretty stressful. Cybersecurity advisor 3 years in. 141k. I work factory for a smaller company that makes McDonald's buns. I'm quality control. 60k your. I'm a bridge operator. I make about $35 $40,000 a year depending on how much overtime I put in the year. That might not sound like much to some people, but I make enough to help pay the bills, live comfortably, max do what I want when I want. I'm not making the big bucks, but I have great benefits, insurance, all that good jazz. I'm in the bridge house 90% of the time, out of the cold heat. Most of the time I'm playing Xbox, watching TV, taking naps, or reading books. Sometimes I'll go hours without a boat. Sometimes I'm pretty busy. I'm in here by myself for 12 hours. And don't have a boss looking over my shoulder all the time. Pretty chill job. Graphic designer for a sex toy shop. I earn approximately $396 if you convert it from PHP to USD, a month, producing 30-60 illustrations weekly, upside down face. I build jet engines for $43.13 per hour. High school teacher in Norway, videregående skole. I make about $64,000 a year. Wow, I'm poor. Everyone here earns about 100k. Crazy. I have a master's degree, LLM, from a top 10 university as well as 5 years working experience in government. Currently work in healthcare policy writing. 40 hours a week, $41,000 a year. No pension, no overtime, no benefits. I test concrete for moisture for flooring. I was pulling in almost 100k before expenses. All expenses are mine. But after pandemic, my most lucrative jobs for a certain company decided to not test anymore even though they did well during pandemic. People still needed clothes, electronics, housing stuff, food, bunch of other stuff this company sells in their superstores. Last year maybe did like 60k. Pharmacy assistant $23 to $58 per hour, depending on the day. Web designer, photographer and videographer for a small media agency, 55k odd a year. Test lab operator, $50,000.